All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Hit the Books, where we are going to take a look at our Week 9 outline. Or, fuck, I fucked that up already. I'm reading the fucking little note. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Hit the Books, Season 3, Episode 10, where we are going to dive into Week 9 in the NFL, as well as a starting segment and a couple big news around the NBA. We had a couple trades, as well as the NFL trade deadline. The World Series could get wrapped up tonight between Texas and Arizona, but I'll hand things off. No Jesse, no Ace this week. It is just going to be me and Mackie. Back to the older days, kind of the season one vibes, just us two. But Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you. How you been?
Yeah, we're definitely shorthanded today, but yeah, looking forward to getting into it. Cowboys had a awesome game last week, back on track, looking like they can compete again with those best teams. Big game this week coming up against the Eagles in the link. Gonna be a tough one, but should be a good one. Looking forward to it. What's going on with you?
Yeah, there's not much going on with me. There's definitely been a lot of good games this week. I'm definitely excited to get into this slate. We'll get right into the NFL. We'll just start out with the 2023 trade deadline. Came and went on Tuesday at 4 p.m. We definitely had a couple of big trades. We're just going to take a look at some of the bigger ones. Obviously, we had Commanders sending a lot of two of their bigger players of their defensive line. You saw Montez Sweat go to the Chicago Bears for a second round pick. And then obviously the bigger one, Chase Young, going to who else but the San Francisco 49ers. They go out and get another guy as if they needed it. But Chase Young, he's paired back up with Bosa. He was his defense end partner at Ohio State. We're going to get to see them back in San Francisco. I know if Ace was here, he'd be getting ready to go off on how these Niners are going to win the Super Bowl and the whole 9 yards. But I mean, the defense is definitely there. There's definitely still question marks with Purdy and if he's going to be ready. But I think this defense is definitely, if it wasn't already, it's for sure the best in the NFL right now. I think those are the two bigger trades that happened in the NFL. Obviously, there was a couple other ones. We saw some news with the Raiders, but what were your opinions on those two moves by the Commanders?
Yeah, obviously, Commanders is clearing house. Uh, Big move by the Niners. I saw a lot of people saying, "How are they able to do this?" But when you have a quarterback like Brock Purdy and you're paying him $895,000 a year right now, you can go out there and make a move like this with an already stacked roster. Um, this just makes the Niners a lot more scary. Where'd Montez Sweat go again?
Chicago. That was kind of
Yeah,
a surprising move for me.
I
I
guess
don't
I
know why they
guess
were buyers, but for a second round pick, they have two first rounders this year. So I guess they just look to guarantee like a good, you know what I mean? Like
it's kind of
Montez
building
Sweat's
for the
better than any
future.
second rounder they're going to draft in this
Yeah.
coming draft. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, kind
So
of building for next year, but
yeah,
I don't know. The Niners are definitely a little more scary now. See how
yeah.
Chase Young meshes there, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other one in the NFC West, Leonard Williams from the Giants up to Seattle. I thought that was a good move for Seattle. They've had some problems stopping the run. They go out and get a nice run stuff and defensive lineman, who's been great for the Giants. I think he's going to fit right in with that Seattle defense in a spot that they've needed. I think Seattle is definitely a pesky team right now. I think they are leading that division out there, if not very
Yeah, they're
close to
five
it.
and two, 5-2.
Yes. So with that bye week with the Niners at the 5-3 and them at the 5-2, it's pretty crazy. I think most people saw the Niners kind of just sweeping their way through the season, especially after that start and then three straight losses. It's hard to predict, but I don't know.
Yeah,
This
and
Seattle team, I think, is pretty pesky.
I'm sure the Niners can still figure it out. They're on a 3-game streak right now. Where they can't really figure much out. But at the end
Who
of
do
the
they
day,
got
this
off this
team.
bye?
Ooh, we can go get into it.
I was
Have
gonna
they
say
played each other yet?
I'm clicking to week 10 right now. 49ers at Jaguars. Not an easy game. Dude, I
Hold
don't
on.
like I don't like their schedule right now. I think a
Let's go
lot of
through their.
people are
Let's go through like the next like 5 weeks. All right, so you have in Jacksonville. Okay, we'll give them an L there. We'll give them an L. Oh, sitting at
yeah,
5-4.
say they lose four straight.
Then you're playing the Bucks. Win
Win.
at
That's a
home.
get right. That's the definition of a get right game if they lose four straight.
Here is their season right here. You have the Seahawks on the road. You have the Eagles on the road, and then you have the Seahawks at home. You might have to win both of those games against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You might have to. Sitting at 6-4 going into it. Pretty sure the Seahawks will be at least 6-4 at that point. Seahawks
And then
schedule is
2
probably a
weeks
lot
later,
easier too.
they're not to overlook the Cardinals, but obviously getting rid of Josh Dobbs, that's one of the trades we didn't talk about, but
But they
kinda
have Kyler
overlooking
Murray
that
now.
game. Oh, yeah, true, I didn't think about that. So they have to go to Arizona, and then, Baltimore comes to San Francisco. They have a tough 5 weeks there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone thought this was going to be an easy division for the Niners this year, as did I. I put them in a parlay for division winners, but This definitely isn't good. This Seahawks team is good. They're gonna give them a run for their money.
Yeah. I
Seahawks
def
have alright, they have a pretty tough schedule as well.
Yeah, I was gonna
In
say they play the same teams.
in Baltimore next week, um, then they play the Commanders at home, they should win that. They're
Yeah.
in Los Angeles for the Rams. That could be a tough game,
Yeah,
divisional.
never easy.
And then they play the Cowboys week 13 when the
Yeah.
Niners play the Eagles in the Link, and they're both away.
See, they could both lose that game. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it
They could
kinda,
both
like,
lose that week, and
it
yeah,
does
but
cancel
one of
out a
them
little
needs to
better.
pick up a win. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, I think the Niners at the end of the day will figure this out. They're the far better team. They've beaten all these good teams too. They killed the Cowboys. At the end of the day, they probably can beat any team in the league, so anybody who stands in their way in their schedule, they could probably get a win out, eke a win out, but it's definitely closer than we expected.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think if there was another team, I think I said, the Rams had a chance, but obviously I didn't know anything about that Nakua, coming onto the scene like that and the cup injury. They kinda just started slow, but the Seattle team is definitely not anything to mess with. I think, like you said, I think the Niners do win the division. I just think, Seattle's gonna be a lock for a wild card team, and they're definitely gonna give a division winner a run for their money in their first round of the playoffs, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I'm high in Seattle as well. People thought it was a fluke year last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say now I mean, he's just like Mr. Consistent. He's not gonna do anything crazy. If they stay
Gino,
healthy, like I know, yeah, Gino. I was gonna say if they stay healthy with Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, and all those receivers, that offense, and now they just got, like I said, Leonard Williams on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not the biggest Jamal Williams guy, or Jamal Adams guy, but they have defensive backs all over the place with
Quandre Diggs
Witherspoon,
too.
Quandre Diggs, Witherspoon, and Tariq Woolen. They're loaded on defense. Look like they're one of the more
Defense
underrated
definitely
defenses.
Yeah, defense has to be playing a little better, but they are playing.
They're
I mean, they're
young.
doing
They're
all
so
right.
young on
Yeah,
defense.
very young. I think this Leonard Williams addition will definitely be a big help. But yeah, Seahawks team's good.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump right into our Week 9 NFL slate. Starts in Pittsburgh with my Steelers. I will be in attendance for this one as well. Steelers a 2.5 point favorite coming into this game, a minus 144 on the money line, and the over under at a low 36.5 for some Thursday night primetime football. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the Steelers in this spot. I know I said it last week against the Jaguars, and I was right. They ended up losing that game outright. I didn't end up taking them on the money line. I just had that under. I think I might end up taking this under as well, especially in the prime time. I think this could be a slow start. I don't know what this first half's going to be set at. It has to be 17 and a half if that's the full game, but um, I'm pulling this up. 17 and a
Wow,
half.
bro.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Can't take
That's
another. Can't.
that's
You think the
scary, dude. That's
Steelers
so
defense
low.
can get a touchdown.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
So
definitely
you're
not
not
going to be
on the
taking a side on this game. I don't love the Steelers in this spot. I truly think Levis is kind of has like a little mojo right now, and I kind of like what he's doing with Tennessee. I think Derrick Henry could have a really big game. I think there's crazy value on the Titans to win this game personally.
Wow. I was not expecting that from you. I'm actually pretty high on the Steelers in this game. I think Will Levis had a great game last week, but he was playing the Atlanta Falcons defense, and now you have to go
There's also no
into
guarantee we get Kenny, Mitch, Mason. They have no clue what the Steelers are doing at quarterback.
I don't think that matters. I think that's, like, the least of your worries because
I
a good
agree.
quarter
Believe me, I
you
said the
don't
same thing.
your
I was at the game
quarterback is
last week. When I was at the game, Kenny went down, and I literally look at Jesse and Sam. I'm like, I think we have just an equal advantage to win this game with
you have
Trubisky in here.
nothing changes because the quarterback doesn't do anything. Your team does not
No,
revolve around your quarterback. It revolves around your defense, and it revolves around that one big drive that you guys have in each game that it's enough. It's crazy, it's enough.
Minka going down in that game against Jacksonville hurt way worse than Kenny going down in that game
Yeah,
against Jacksonville.
because it's a mid-game adjustment that you have to make. You have rookies coming in, second strings coming in,
Yeah, whereas
not ready to be in
Trubisky,
that
who's been
moment.
there, I mean, not he hasn't been good, but he's been in a playoff game. You know what I mean? Like he's played, he's
Right,
been a
right.
starter before.
But I actually do like the Steelers in this situation. I think Will Levis has a really tough time against that Steelers pass rush. I think
That's
TJ
the
Watt
only thing that's killing me is they could get to
dude,
him.
he's young. It's his second game. He's going up against probably the best pass rushers in the league. I think he's a really tough time. Makes a lot of mistakes where the Steelers defense is obviously going to capitalize on. Um, and I don't think. I mean, you're going into Heinz Field on Thursday night. You know the atmosphere it's going to be. I just can't. If he figures this out and wins this football game, I will say he's the real deal.
Dude, this is pretty crazy. Every single anytime touchdown scorer on FanDuel is 140 or higher. Derrick Henry and Najee Harris, the two favorites. Henry at
It's
plus 140.
36.4. and a half, dude.
Dude, they think it's just gonna be one touchdown and just field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. That's crazy.
You think D-Hop had a fluke game, or you think you
No,
think
I think
they
he
have
has
a
a pretty
nice.
good game this week, yeah. I think
Yeah, this is
what
gonna
like,
be a
dude,
good.
if you're a rookie quarterback, you come into Tennessee, I'm like, I got 2 dudes, Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. When I'm throwing the ball, number 10's the first dude I'm looking at, and when I'm running or doing play action, I'm not even worried about it, just give it to Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a
Yeah,
good spot. Like,
he's
they
in a
don't have a
good
good
spot.
offensive line. He's in
Mike
a really
Vrabel's
good
a good
spot where
coach.
he has a great security blanket in DeAndre Hopkins to throw to, like, 8 yards, 9 yards. You saw that deep ball. It was like a 50-yard touchdown. That was a sick throw. I mean, he kinda
Cross his
missed him on that
body
throw.
too.
Yeah. He kinda missed him on that throw. D-Hop had to, like, go over and get under it and, like, beat the corner around it, but, I mean, when you have that kinda receiver, like, you don't have to be the best
Yeah,
quarterback. Like,
just
we
put it
see it
in
with
the
Kenny
area.
Pickett and Pickens. Pickens makes Pickett look so much better with some of these missed throws, and Pickett just sticks out the one arm or something and brings it in. It's like, if you can hit their wingspan, like some of them, D-Hop, like I said, I don't know. I think there's good value on them to win this game. I'm not gonna be picking a side, but, um, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna go on with this game. I might just kinda dive into some props or something, maybe some over under on a receiving or a rushing prop. Let me see, what's Derrick Henry set at? 73.5, Najee's 44.5, Jalen Warren 25.5. I might do Jalen Warren over 25.5 rushing yards. I might have to look into that and see what his season totals are, but I feel like 20 that just looks low for him in my opinion, based on, like, the usage that we sometimes go to him.
Yeah, it seems a little low. I feel like he's more of like a um check off
Receive
receiving back,
I was just gonna say I might do the rushing plus receiving because it's only 40. Like, you only add the 16 or
right?
17 yards.
Kind of like
So
that.
last week he only had 19 rushing yards, but he had 19 receiving yards as well, so that would not hit.
Yeah,
Damn,
but
so
you got it'll be close. It's a good line.
yeah.
I don't know. You're kind of scaring me that you don't like these Steelers at all, but I
I
don't know.
don't
I
know.
kind of lean them.
I think it's just a weird spot. I don't know.
Dude, they
But
find
it's
ways to win
also
football games. The Titans are also 0-3 on the road this season. They're not a good road team in general. I know it's different quarterbacks. You're talking different situation and everything, but
yeah.
I mean, altogether, this team doesn't play well on the road, and I think this is the hardest place to go in and play.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely, and like you're kind of talking me into the other way. I definitely think that I just keep thinking about Will Levis going up against our defense, but like our defense isn't like no Cam Hayward, no Minka. I don't think Minka's playing tomorrow. I have to check that status,
He's
but
not. I think he's out a
yeah,
few weeks, isn't he?
yeah. I was gonna say I think he might be a 2 or 3 week, maybe even more. But I don't know if I had to pick a side. Give me the Steelers at home. Give me the home team on the field goal, or but to win by the field goal at home on the Thursday night football. But I don't know what else I'd go on this game.
Minka is
This
out.
could be this could be dude, I don't know. With them
Pick it to be
thinking
game
these
time call.
is that what it says?
Yeah.
That's tough. I don't know. I want to see if I don't know. I really don't care to really look it up too much because, like you said, I don't think it affects the game that much. Like, I don't think it changes the line at all,
No. No.
especially with us being 2 point favorites already. You know what I mean? But we do have another European game this week. This time they're in, I believe it's Germany. The
Frankfurt.
Dolphins are underdogs in this game. It's technically at the Chiefs, but like we said, it's a game in Germany. Chiefs coming to this game as a 1.5 point favorite, a minus 124 on the money line, and over under at 50.5. Um, the Dolphins, I did see arrived in Germany yesterday. People love to hear those travel stats with them going to Europe. They did get there yesterday. The Chiefs don't have plans to get there on Friday. This year in the London game, I did see a stat. I think the teams are 3-1 that have gotten there first,
Five
or
and one.
five and
Five
one that
and
have
one.
gotten there first. So all the signs are saying take the Dolphins in this game as an underdog at the plus 106 on the money line. I'm interested to see which way are you leaning on this game right now.
Yeah, I am on the Dolphins, and not only for that stat, even though I do love that stat, I think it's actually a huge thing to take into play. I mean, you're there all week, you're more adapt. Meanwhile, if you get there on Friday, I see the logic in both ways, but even regardless of that, the Dolphins have not beat a good team yet this year. They're 6-2, I think. Every win that they have is under the team has under 2 wins, so they haven't really proven anything, in my opinion. And I think that they've heard that, and I think this is a really good
True,
chance for them to just be like, "Fuck you guys, we're gonna go beat the Chiefs now and prove to you guys that we're actually a top 3 team in the NFL." Because I
yeah.
think that they are. I just think that they've been in shitty situations against the good teams, and they've just fallen short here and there, but this is a good chance for them, and this is a good opportunity. I think
Do you
They
think
figured it
do
out.
you think the Dolphins for sure win their division?
Yes, 'cause I think the
Yeah.
Bills just choke way too much, and the Dolphins don't lose enough games. I was looking at their schedule. Max games they lose this year, after already starting 6-2, is maybe 6, and I think that at that point,
This
the
is probably
Dolphins.
one of those question marks you had, like, you counted this as a loss.
Yeah, at the like, if I was talking, like, max
Yeah,
losses, yes, I counted this as a loss, but I don't think they lose this game, and there's games down the road that I think that they're gonna win that they could lose. They're
yeah,
gonna beat the Bills at home, they're gonna split with the Bills, I assume that, and I just think the Bills are gonna drop a game to a as 8-point favorites at another point in the season, and, they just lose too many games, they find ways to lose games.
I agree. I think the Dolphins are gonna win this division. I know I said the Bills could, but I think we obviously preseason, I think we all kind of agreed on the Dolphins to win that division, so I'm gonna agree with the trends here. I'm just gonna kind of blindly fade or ride this trend. That 5-1, the teams that get there first, just like you said, for all the reasons they're more used to everything over there, the time change and all that. Give me the Dolphins to win this game. The 1.5, just give me the plus 106 on the money line. I will go ahead with that. Tough to take the Chiefs to lose 2 games in a row, but obviously I don't think the Taylor Swift question's still there. I don't think she'll be in Germany for this game. You never know, but
I
obviously losing last week without her there might be a little something there for Chiefs fans to worry about.
I also think this Chiefs team isn't as good as they've been in the past, and not like especially not like last year, but,
Yeah,
I think that they're definitely lacking a little, and I think Pat Mahomes has been a bit off. I know last week he was sick, and they were in Denver, and it was freezing and stuff, so that was.
sick. They said.
Yeah, he was ill, like, he had, like, a temperature, and
Yeah,
it
no,
was
like
obvious
did they say that before the game or after the game?
before.
I was gonna say that's such a. I was gonna say it's something you just like. If they don't say that before the game, you don't just come out and say that after the game
Oh,
after
I
you
wouldn't
lose.
I
You know
wouldn't
what I mean?
believe it, I wouldn't believe
Yeah,
it, but,
yeah.
it was, like,
I was
also,
gonna
like,
say you
20
gotta say
degrees
that
out, it was
before.
snowing. This is Mahomes from the major stage, so it'll be a good game.
I was gonna say 9:30. They finally give us like a matchup that we want to see. I know that Jags Bills one was good too. So I hope this is obviously a pretty good game. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I'll ride you on that one. Next, the first Sunday 1 o'clock game, we have Matt Stafford and the LA Rams visiting Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Packers coming into this game as a 3-point favorite, which is kind of interesting to me. If you ask me personally, the minus 174 on the money line, over under a low 38.5. Which way are you leaning on this one? I personally think this is a weird line. It makes me want to take the Rams plus the points here to win the game.
Yeah,
Which way are you going here?
I think Matt Stafford is, leaning towards being out of this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his thumb on his throwing hand, he injured, but, I'm assuming that's why the line is -3 for the Packers in this game,
I was
but
gonna say I was gonna unless there's something I didn't know, which that definitely is what I didn't know. So who's the presumed quarterback if Stafford's out? Who's the Rams
hold
backup
on,
now?
let me look into this. He didn't
Yeah,
practice
let's
on Wednesday.
let's try to
Um,
see who this backup quarterback is because dude,
Brett
the Packers.
Rypien.
That's tough. I don't know. I don't know if I like the Rams enough to take them with a backup quarterback. If this is Stafford, I like the points if you want to be risky and buy in now, and maybe there's a chance he plays. I don't know how likely it is, but I'd lean the Rams here. I can't take this Packers team. I was on them to start the year. I think they're fading off quick. I just personally think Jordan Love isn't as good as everyone thought he was. Me being one of those people. I don't know. I lean the Rams here. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be betting on this game, especially with all the question marks around it, but I'm with you. I was never high on Jordan Love even in the beginning of the season. After his first few weeks, I kinda gained a little respect, but that's definitely gone away.
He gave us every reason to be like he could be doing it, like he
Could,
could do
yes,
it, and
yes.
then he just 3 games in a row didn't do anything. It
Yeah, so
was yeah, I
he's
mean,
on a tough stretch right now, but, if Matt Stafford doesn't play this game, I like the under 38. I know it's not a lot of points, but Green Bay didn't even score a point
that's a good
last
point.
game in the first half. They don't put up a lot of points as it is. The defense isn't bad, and if you have Brett Rypien on the other side of the football, or on the other side, yeah, throwing the
I like
football,
that.
I like the under. Yeah, it seems a little high, to be honest. I feel like it should be like 35.5, 36.5 without Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely good. That could be something I look at in that game, like you said, if Stafford doesn't play, the under 38.5, you might have to shop that around because I don't know. I don't think you'd find 39, but definitely want to get that half point anytime it's lower than 40, if at least if you ask me. So yeah, we'll jump into our next game. We have The Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Houston Texans. Texans coming into this game also as a -3 favorite on the spread and a -148 on the money line. Bucks at +126 on the money line with the over/under at an even 40. Personally, on this game, I'm not big on this Texans team. I don't know how you feel about them. The CJ Stroud, I do like the what they've been doing. Last week, I did like the Panthers. I saw you take them on the card. I had them in the teaser. I did want to take them to win that game, but I kind of didn't want to double down on an 0-6 team. I know I had them at the 14.5, but I personally, I'm on the Houston Texans here to bounce back and get a win at home. I don't love the -3. I think there could be a weird number final score here. I'd probably go with the money line. I don't know what the number I said was, the -148. It's a little steep. Might be a parlay builder if you ask me, but I don't know. I could probably buy the half point, get the Texans at 2.5, but I lean the Texans to bounce back on their home field here.
Yeah, I'm definitely torn on this game because I kind of do like the Texans, but then again, I just think Baker can get it done more than C.J. Stroud can, and
He can do
C.J.
that in
Stroud.
every game. He can talk me into leaning either way. Like anytime, any game Baker Mayfield's in, I can convince myself that he's going to win this game.
Right, exactly. And CJ Stroud against this pretty elite veteran defense is gonna he's I think he's gonna have a tough game. 2 or 3 weeks ago we saw even Jared Goff have a tough game against them, and they just kind of eked it out with a few big plays in the second half and they ended up winning that game by a few possessions. But I don't think CJ Stroud is gonna be able to do what Jared Goff did. If it's gonna be a low scoring game like that, I think I take the Bucks in that one. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be a really good game. I'm not on a side right now. I don't think I'm gonna have a play on this one. But I do lean the Bucks. I think the Bucks are actually a pretty good team.
You think they could win that division?
I hope not, because I took the Saints, but yeah, I do. I really
Yeah,
do.
I have the Saints too. I don't. I think I have a parlay that's Bills, basically the ones that aren't in the lead right now. I need Bills, Saints, and Vikings. I don't think all three of them win.
No, I don't think the Vikings get there. I think the Lions
Yeah.
definitely. But I have Chiefs look good. I
Yeah,
have
mine. I picked every division. I do this every year. I pick every division except the AFC North
Oh,
because I truly
really?
think. Yeah, I do this. I pick every division except my own
Oh,
because
fuck.
I think every team can win it. And at least this year, especially, I was like, I'm not doing the Ravens, Bengals. Like, I just didn't know how it was going to happen. So I did. In the AFC, it was Chiefs, Jags, Bills, and then the NFC, it was Niners. I'm blanking.
Eagles,
Niners, Eagles, Saints,
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah, I did Saints, Niners. Niners kind of making me sweat now. Jags and Chiefs. So that looks pretty
Okay.
good, actually. I just
Yeah.
need the Saints, dude.
Yeah. So you didn't take everyone.
No, I did say 4. It was plus
Yeah. Yeah.
750, I think.
Yeah. Mine was crazy. All right, we'll get into this next game. Aces New England Patriots are home as a 3.5 point favorite against the Washington Commanders, who we said had a big trade deadline on Monday. With the Patriots are coming into this game as a -180 on the money line. The Commanders at a +152. The over/under is at a 40.5, with the over being slightly favored at the -114. Personally, in this game, I don't. This is probably a game I'm not going to be betting on. It's easy to say you lean the Patriots. The Commanders got rid of all those pieces on defense. I could see the Commanders come out and not only cover this game but also win it, which is probably going to make me stay away from this one right now. But I guess if I had to take a side, I'd probably go with the Commanders plus the 3.5 because they're giving you the extra half point. I'll take the 3.5, but I think the Commanders can win this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm more high on the over than anything on this one. I think the Commanders just took a big hit on their defense. They're going to have a rough day on defense. Mac Jones can be good against a really weak defense. He'll look like a great quarterback. He can make those throws downfield, put up points. But on the other side, I think Sam Howell has a field day as well. I think that he picks apart that Patriots defense. I like Sam Howell. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. And against a injured, weak defense like the Patriots, who sitting at 2-6, obviously don't have all the momentum going, players aren't playing their best. I think Sam Howell just has a field day. Um, and I think it's a high scoring game. I like the over 40.5. And I think the Commanders should probably win this football game as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I like that overplay as well. I feel like that's pretty low for, like you said. I feel like both of these teams could put up 20 or around there and just kind of get there. But yeah, I definitely lean the Commanders with the points. I also like that overplay. So the next game we have Tyson Bagent and the Chicago Bears heading into New Orleans. The Saints coming in this one is an 8.5 point favorite, a -420 on the money line. And the over under is at a low 41 for an 8.5 point spread. Personally, I like the Bears with the points. I like this quarterback for them. I know I took them against the Chargers. I'm going to take them again this week with the points. I think 8.5 is a little too much. It's so hard to give it more than a touchdown in the NFL, and I think anytime you get the chance to do it, I like jumping on these big spreads. I might tease them up a little bit, but I think I'm going to go with the Bears with the 8.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you with the Bears in this one. I don't like this quarterback for the Bears, but I just don't think the Saints ever deserve to be 8.5 point favorites against anyone. Derek Carr just hasn't shown enough to me this year to move that offense downfield. But I like the low scoring games. What is this, 41.5? I like
41 I have, but yeah,
I
you
like
could probably
this.
find that.
Yeah, I like this one to say under for sure. I think the Saints defense does enough. Saints will probably win this football game, but 8.5 points is just too much for a team that's not that good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I like that. All right, our next game we have. Could this be Josh Dobbs for the
Dude, I
Vikings?
don't know. That's a good question. Let me look into
Yeah.
it.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to look into that, I'll introduce the game. So we have the Minnesota Vikings heading into Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons coming in as a 4.5 point favorite, minus 230 on the money line, and over under 37.5 points. Um, So, two things about this game. Obviously, Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles last week, not going to be going for the Vikings. And the Falcons just named Taylor Heineke as their new starting quarterback. So, if Josh Dobbs goes in this game, I'm hammering the Vikings plus 4.5. I really like them in this spot. I don't think the Falcons should ever be a 4.5 point favorite, if you ask me. I know they've had their wins this year. They've also had their struggles. I'm going to go with the Vikings with the points. I'll give them the 4.5. If it goes to 5, I love it even more. But I'm going to go with the Vikings with the points here. I think they're able to just keep it close. The Falcons love playing in weird score, low scoring games. Over under 37. I don't love the over under in this game. I am going to go with the Vikings with the 4.5 points, though.
Yeah, I think we should have realized when we saw a 4.5 point spread as underdogs that Josh Dobbs wouldn't be playing in this football game, and that's what it says. He won't start immediately. So that's Jaron Hall going for the Vikings. Never heard of him. Don't know much about him. So I'm definitely not going to bet on the Vikings in this game, but I do think that they can cover that spread, and maybe even win this game outright. Taylor Heineke is a huge addition or upgrade, I should say, from Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter just wasn't the answer. He wasn't getting pure drives. He would make a nice play or two each game that kept him alive. But Arthur Smith, at the end of the day, had to make the right play here and put Taylor Heineke in the football game.
Like, you
Um,
signed him for a reason. You stop the bleeding at some point. You guys are in play for this division. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
mean, you're 4-4. You're ahead or tied for the lead in this division right now. You have to put the better quarterback in the game. But I like the Vikings plus the 4.5. I think it could be a field goal game at the end of the day. Vikings defense has been playing a lot better. That team has a lot of momentum. I know Kirk Cousins just went down, kind of killed a little
They
bit of
love
it, but
losing one possession games this year. Last year, all we were saying is they love winning the one possession games. And I think it
11,
was you that said this year it's going to
11
be, I
and
don't
0.
think they're going to win all those one
I
possession
s
games.
Yeah, I did say that. I didn't think it would be this bad though. They were 11-0 last year, and they started the season 0-4 in their first four this year.
Yeah,
But
I remember you saying that at the beginning of the year. You go, I don't think they're. You were like, you kept pulling that stat, the 11-0 and one score games. You're like, you know how hard that is to repeat that, and then
you don't
I
get
think their first three losses were one score games they lost.
you all four of them, all
Yeah,
four of them. You simply just can't. I mean, you can't get that lucky again. I mean, half of those have got
remember
to be
that Bills
luck.
game, the Vikings at Bills. You remember that
But
comeback? That was
that was
fucking crazy.
that was
Yeah,
Jetta.
yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was
was when it was they turned the ball over on the 1 yard line. And they got him into safety or something.
yeah, and they
Yeah,
got
that
the
was
ball back,
awesome.
and then they scored.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that
Um,
team was getting so lucky last year, but I do like them with the points here. I don't know that quarterback, but I'm going to take a chance here.
Low scoring.
I think it'd be low scoring. I'd have
Vikings
to lean low
defense just
scoring.
needs to step up, to be honest. That's
Yeah,
what it
so
comes
I think
down to, is
37. I
Vikings.
think you're safe under that, and I like the Vikings with the points.
Here's the thing about it is that the Vikings cannot drop a game. You can't go to 4-5 and expect to still win this division. You have to keep the momentum going. You have to win this game against the Atlanta Falcons. These are the
Yeah,
games you gotta win.
yeah. Especially Detroit on a bye week. It's a week you can catch up a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They could be
But
5 and
I
4.
would, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them lose this game by a field goal though. Like you said, with no Dobbs, I do think Heineke can do enough to keep the Falcons in this thing. But I'm definitely going to take the points with the Vikings. All right, our next game we have the Arizona Cardinals heading into Cleveland. Cleveland a 7.5 point favorite, minus 390 on the money line. Over under at a 37.5. All these low over unders this week as we get into. I feel like this is the time of year we have to start looking at like the weather reports in some of these cities, like the wind and obviously snow. I know it snowed in Pittsburgh this morning, at least like a very little bit, but so that means the weather's coming with the fall and winter football. So Browns come into this one, like you said, a 7.5 point favorite. I don't know which way to go on this one. I think the Browns are a tough spot at a 7.5 point favorite. Does that tell me Deshaun Watson's a go in this game too?
Deshaun Watson was throwing today, not fully, but he's looking to be back. But the big thing is about Kyler Murray here. I mean, he was full practice yesterday. If he's back, that's huge. I mean, what do you expect here from the Arizona Cardinals?
I honestly think if he's back, I kind of want to take the Cardinals with the points here anyway. I was gonna say who's playing quarterback for them. I just don't love the Browns to cover a 7.5 point spread personally, but I don't know. And then you tell me I can get a chance at Kyler Murray playing in this game. I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray guy, but if you buy in now, you get the 7.5, and there's a chance he plays. Or even I don't know. I might have to throw them in a teaser and take a chance at that because I've already been looking at a couple teams that I like for my teaser this week, and I don't know, getting them at probably 14 or maybe no, it'd be like fucking 20. That'd be nice.
Yeah, the Browns with PJ Walker. I mean, he's 8 point favorites. I just feel like it's a little disrespectful. I don't think they deserve to be 8 point favorites as well. No Nick Chubb, no Deshaun Watson. But if
Crazy
Deshaun
defense.
Watson
The
does
defense.
play,
It's all the defense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from this one, but I would like to see Kyler Murray play this game.
Yeah, that I didn't know that was possible. I'm kind of excited for this now. I kind of want to definitely. I'm gonna keep my eye on that and see what he's doing because this line's gonna change obviously if he plays, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
It might go to 6.5. It might not change much, but they won't give you that 7.5. It'll probably go to 6.5. But next we have this is a pretty good game. Seattle Seahawks, Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Baltimore comes into this matchup as a 5.5 point favorite, minus 270 on the money line, over under at 44.5. Which way are you going on this one? This is definitely a tough matchup. I think the Seahawks, are they coming off a bye?
No, they beat the Browns last week,
Yeah, you're
24 to
right. Yep.
20.
Yep. Okay. Yep. They had the Browns at home last week. I'm thinking 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. So yeah, you are right. Ravens come into this game. I don't know, a 5.5 point spread. Ravens are home off a game in Arizona where that wasn't a necessarily a tough matchup for them. Dobbs was there. They ended up hanging around in the game. I want to take the Ravens here. I think 5.5 is a little too much. What are you leaning on this?
You know what? I keep fading these Ravens, but I don't really care. I'm gonna do it again. Looks like the same exact situation as the Lions game when I took the Lions, plus the points and then the money line, and they got beat 38-6. But you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing. I like the Seahawks plus the 6. I like them on the money line plus 210. I don't love this Ravens team. I
I
really,
agree.
really this is such a bad take. I know, I get it, but I just don't think Lamar Jackson is that good. I just think the way that he plays the game with this offense makes him look really good, and he moves his offense down the field. But he's not. He's not that like he's not. I just don't think he's really that good. Just from watching the Ravens games, I know I'm a big hater on these Ravens, but I mean, I just don't think they're a 6-2 team. Definitely not a 7-2 team if they win this football game. But I don't know. I think Geno Smith can get enough done. Obviously, they added Leonard Williams on that defense. That could be a big help on the way the Ravens play this game. But I don't know. What do you think about it?
I think it's too many points to take the Ravens minus the 5.5. I'd like to, like I said, I say this a lot, but I don't love the spread. Just kind of get it up in a teaser, but I'd love to get the Seahawks at 13.5 or somewhere around there, kind of in a 3 or 4 leg teaser. That might be the one of the ones I throw in there. I'll try to make something before we finish up, so I can get it announced like I did last week. But I don't know. I definitely see what you're saying with the Seahawks winning this game. It's very similar to that matchup with the Lions, both in Baltimore. I personally, I think,
Does
what was
Baltimore
the spread on
protect?
that game?
It was like 2.5, 3.
Okay, it was closer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But does Baltimore protect home field like that? I mean, they're only 2-1 at home. They're 4-1 on the road. I don't think that really comes into play at the end of the day.
I was gonna say, and like when I feel like when the Ravens are like when people say that's a hard place to play, that's kind of like the primetime games. I feel like home field comes into advantage in any primetime game, but like Sunday 1 o'clock, I know this is a really a
Until you
10
see the
a.m. game
upsets in
for
a row.
Seattle, but that's what I'm saying. I think Seattle can hang around in this game. I think it's gonna be a lot. I think it's a little too many points. If Seattle loses this game, it's gonna be a 3 or 4 point matchup.
And a lot of times when you see teams go on the road and they're into a hard place to play like the Ravens, um, it's teams that play in domes or something. I mean, this
Yeah,
Seattle team has played with a lot of weather conditions themselves. They've been through it multiple times themselves, so I don't think that's going to come into play. 6 points, too much, man, too much. I just think it's too much.
yeah, I definitely agree. All right, we will get into our next game. We have the Indianapolis Colts heading into the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are plus 2.5 in this game as a home underdog at plus 128 on the money line, with the Colts at minus 152 and the over under at 44.5. Mackie, you hit on the Panthers money line last week, calling their first win of the season. I heard it on the live stream. Where do you have them go in this game? Do you have them getting a little win streak rolling here? Because I know I'm leaning on the Panthers here in this game.
Yeah, can they possibly win 2 in a row? I mean, we said it before the season even started, or not even before the season started, but we said it like 2 weeks ago. They're really not that bad of a team. Like, this is probably the like, when they were 0-5, 0-6, it's, like, not the team you expected to be 0-5, 0-6. They weren't really playing like it. Bryce Young had a very rough start. I kinda called that one, but I just thought they would be able to pick it up a little bit around him. This is another situation where they can go in and win this football game. You have Gardner Minshew on the other side of the football, hasn't been playing great football. Colts sitting at 3-5. Bryce Young has a bit of momentum going on right now. I think he feels it. You could see it in his throws, making throws downfield, coming off that injury. I think at home they're only 1-2 at home, 0-4 on the road. I think they can probably squeak this one out at home. It looks like you're leaning the same way. Let me hear you say.
Yeah, I think the back to back home games is huge in this spot. You get that young team to get a couple or a couple home games back to back. Obviously, a couple or early on in the season, we heard the fans were booing the players. The players were getting back into it with the fans. You never like to see that. No one's happy when you're 0-4, 0-5. Bryce Young, that was a big matchup for him last week. A child is like love making the videos about him and C.J. Stroud. They were buddies growing up and all that stuff. He gets his first win over him in Carolina. I think that's big. I think the fan base kind of is starting to learn that there's going to be growing pains with this young number one overall pick. I don't think he's going to be the best ever, but he's definitely going to have his chances and make his plays and have definitely win games. I think this is another one the Panthers can win the game. I wouldn't take the plus 2.5. Just give me the plus 128, plus 130 money line. I assume you can get it right around there. So I like the Panthers in this spot. I'm not. I know I was all over these Colts. That was mainly to do with Anthony Richardson. I wasn't as big on them with the Gardner Minshew edition or when they had to slot him in there, I guess I should say. But yeah, give me the Panthers here to win this game on the plus 130 money line.
Yeah, I also like the under in this one. I think the Panthers defense kind of keeps it in them for a while, keeps them in it for a while, I should say. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think this could be a good game. You could see the Panthers sitting at 2-6, and they play the Bears next week, week after. So, they could be at 3-6, and then they obviously that'll be the peak of their season. But this team can get a little momentum going here.
Absolutely, yeah, and then we will jump into our first 425 game of the day, the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles come into this one as a -3 even favorite, -174 on the money line, and the over/under is 46, one of our higher over/unders for the week. I'll hand things off over to you. Your Dallas Cowboys heading into the, whatever the fuck they call it, the link in Philly. What do you think here? Where are you going? Do you like your Cowboys to cover the number or win the game on the plus 146 money line?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough battle for these Cowboys. I will say Dak Prescott is 8-3 in his career against the Philadelphia Eagles, so he hasn't really had a problem playing in Philadelphia. But this he hasn't had to play this good of an Eagles team yet. Last year he did last year, but it was without Jalen Hurts, and when they lost, Dak didn't play. But
Yeah.
I think we're gonna take a loss here. I think we're gonna be sitting at 5-3 after this game. Cowboys and Eagles, they usually split. They usually win their home games respectively. I think it happens again this year. Both these teams are very good, and you're gonna protect home field advantage. Cowboys do year in year out. Eagles do year in year out. So I think it's gonna be a good one. I'm probably gonna take the Cowboys just because I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm rooting for it. But
Mhm.
it's not really my smartest play, and I don't know. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I do kind of agree with whenever you said that they kind of split their home games, and I like the Eagles here. I don't love the -3. I think it's more of a parlay piece with the money line. I know it's a little steep, the -174, but I'd like to get 2.5 for the money line. I don't know if I'll end up carding this just because of how good the Cowboys are, but I think the Eagles defend their home turf. This is obviously going to be the game that's on TV. For me, at least in the 4 o'clock slate, so I'll be watching this. This is going to be a great matchup. AJ Brown's on a tear. CD Lamb had a great game last week, so a lot of great receivers in this one. This is going to be a really good matchup, but I do lean the Eagles to get things done on their home field. Um, we will jump into the other 425 game. We have the New York Giants heading into Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders, who are fresh off of firing Josh McDaniels as well as their GM and benching Jimmy Garoppolo for, I forget the kid's name. Do you
Yeah,
not?
O'Donnell, Aiden O'Donnell out of
Aiden O'Donnell. I
Purdue,
was gonna say like Cade O'Donnell or something like that. I knew it was something close to that.
and they're
Raiders, however,
still
go ahead.
2-point
I
favorites.
was gonna say Raiders, however, somehow coming to this game as a 1.5 point favorite, a -130 on the money line. The over under 37.5. I like the Raiders here. I always take teams when they fire their coach. I like the Raiders on their home field here. I don't like that they're favorites. I'm gonna take it. I'll take the 1.5. I think the Raiders get the job done. I just have a thing. I feel like there's a stat that you could find teams off of firing their fucking stupid head coach, and they always get a win. Just kind of rally the boys and get a win. I like the Raiders here. It's a great spot for them against the Giants on their home field. I think Saquon has a great game, but I like the Raiders.
Is Daniel Jones playing?
I don't know.
If he is, I do like the Giants, I have to say. This Raiders team is so bad.
They're so
Um,
bad, dude, but it's firing the coach. It just does it for me. It's like an autoplay.
yeah, if they still had their quarterback in, I'd say, "Okay, yeah," but you
Yeah,
have Aiden
If Jimmy
O'Donnell
G was in,
now.
I agree. I agree. This would be on my card already, but the one and a half is
I think Devontae Adams has a great game with the new quarterback, and he's gonna air it out to him whenever he gets the chance. Devontae Adams is going up to him and be like, "Dude, just get me the damn football, and
yeah, just hey,
we'll
just
have
look
a
my way,
decent
dude.
day. We'll be respectable." And, I think it'll work. I think the Giants defense is good enough to keep up with Devontae Adams, but, I mean, that Raiders defense is probably just as bad, if not worse, than this Giants defense, and I think Daniel Jones is able to just do enough with Saquon Barkley to, um, to win this football game. The Raiders haven't scored over 20 points. They've only done it once this year, and it was because Mac Jones got sacked in the end zone with like 10 seconds left. I think the Giants can put up 20 points to win this football game. I really do.
I was gonna say, how ugly is it to take the over in this game? I kind of like there to be a lot of
Dude,
points because both
I
defenses
think
are bad.
I mean, what are they? Neither of them have anything to lose. Air the football out. Like probably what they're gonna do. I'm assuming.
I think it's so ugly to say the over in this game, but I kind of like it.
It's only 37 and oh, I love it, dude. I love it. I might even fucking play it.
Dude, I don't know. It is ugly, but I can see it happen for sure, especially if Daniel Jones plays.
Yeah, it's a big question mark. It looks like he's no limitations in practice though, so I'm sure he'll be playing.
Okay.
Especially with Tyrod Taylor out. So you're not gonna play fucking Tommy DeVito again and have him run the ball 23 times in a row.
Yeah. All right, we will get into our Sunday night matchup. This is definitely one of the better Sunday night matchups we've had this year. I know we just had a couple good ones, and they're giving us another one with the Buffalo Bills heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals come into this one as a 1.5 point favorite, -134 on the money line. Bills at +114 on the money line, and the over under sitting at 49.5. I'll start us out here. I've been on the Bengals since the past couple weeks when I said they were back, and I think they are back. I'm going to take them again in this spot. Till they prove me wrong, I'm riding the Bengals spread. I'll take the Bengals -1.5 here. Also, like the under. I think the game goes under. I think it's not going to be as high scoring as most people think with these two quarterbacks. I think the defenses are able to keep it close. I know that neither defense is necessarily great with a lot of injuries going both ways, but the Bengals defense the past couple weeks has been playing really good football. I think they can contain Josh Allen, and I also really like the Bengals with the points here, the -1.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the Bengals as well. Josh Allen and the Bills do not play good football on the road. They're only 1-2 on the road this year, opposed to 4-1 at home. So, like we said all season, two completely different teams on the road and at home. And Joe Burrow doing it again. He does it year in, year out. Started 0-2, 1-3 last year. Did the same exact thing this year. He's going to find his way to the top of that division by the end of the season, I
Oh,
guarantee.
they're
And
going
I
to win
think
this
you,
division.
yeah,
I've already thought about throwing a bunch of futures on them.
yeah, I definitely think that they're the best team in this division, and they deserve to win that division. And I think they'll get there as well. Joe Burrow back to playing like he usually does. Jamar Chase, they have that connection going again. Obviously, Joe Mixon getting a lot more involved rather than in the first few weeks where he wasn't getting anything going. Everyone
I
thought he was
actually bet that
washed.
last week. Did you guys see me in the chat? I was saying Bengals with the points and Mixon touchdown. They both obviously Bengals won outright, and I did see
I took
Mixon score.
Bengals
I
out.
bet that.
I took Bengals plus 170 too.
I saw
That
that.
was
Nice.
awesome. But yeah, ride this team right now. Why not? They're plus 5.5 last week against the Niners. Very underrated. You're only -2 at home against this Bills team. Take them. I mean, they're winning football games. They're a proven football team as well. I think
This
that
is
they
one
win
of
this
those.
football
This
game.
is turning into one of those teams. They're in that mojo that I don't care how much of the public is on them. I think they win this game.
Yeah, yeah. They're just rolling too hot right now, and they have elite football players. You can't stop that.
Dude, listen to some of these prices. Okay, I was looking at these today. So I didn't shop around and find necessarily best odds. So I think I saw 400 for the Bengals to win the division, 4-1. To win the AFC, I know we're getting a little higher there. To win the AFC plus 1,000. And then if you want to go as far as the Super Bowl, you can get them at plus 2,000. Or no, 15 to 1 on DraftKings, I'm seeing. And then I did see 18 to 1 on MGM this morning. That was where I saw the 18 to 1 on the Super Bowl. I was thinking about laying out some futures on the
Plus 1,000. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Plus
Plus
a
1,000 to win
thousand
the AFC.
to win the AFC is bananas. I
That's
mean,
what I'm
they're
saying.
almost
I'm
a lock
checking.
for the playoffs at this point. I think they're a lock for the playoffs at this point. And once they get there, they have Joe Burrow. I mean, how
Bengals are
can
16 to 1. I apologize to win the Super Bowl on MGM, and they have 850 on the AFC. So I'd take the 16 to 1 on the Super Bowl and then the 10 to 1 on the AFC. I'm thinking
I
about doing
take?
it.
I think I'm going to take that AFC bet. I think I am.
It's on DraftKings. The thousands on DraftKings. I know I've seen you using that lately.
I think they're a lock for. I think they're a lock for the playoffs. And once you're in the
I'll take
playoffs,
that
I
with
mean,
you. You want to
yeah.
ride that? Let's take that.
Hold on, let me. I'll take it right fucking now.
I'll do it right now too. We're both like, yeah. Hold on, everyone, all the listeners out there can silence while me and Mackie load up our DraftKings account to lock in Bengals to win the AFC.
You think I won't do it? I'll fucking do it.
I'm doing it right now too. I can't believe you liked it that much. I'm in.
Hold on, I gotta find it. Dude, I don't know if I could bet futures in uh
In
in
New
New
York.
York.
Really? Go to
I've had this problem before. I think it's true.
damn, you have to look that up. But all right, we'll get into this Monday
Wait, no,
night
no, no, I
game.
got him, I got him, I got him, I got him. Oh,
All
you
right, you
can't bet
found it?
awards. Like I can't bet like to win MVP or something like that.
Oh, okay. You've told me that. Like how you can't even bet on like New York basketball teams or
Yeah, I can't
college
do I
teams.
can't do that either. Like I can't bet on
Yeah,
like St. John's or Syracuse or something.
that's so weird. All right, we'll get into this Monday night matchup. The LA Chargers heading into New York to take on the Jets. Jets coming to this one as a +3 underdog at home. The +144 on the money line. The Chargers obviously -3 and -172 on the money line with the over under at 40.5. Um, I, which way are you going on this one? I just don't think the Jets can keep picking up wins and kind of staying afloat while they kind of wait for Rodgers to come back. I'm personally leaning on the Chargers here. I don't know which way you're going. I like the Chargers minus the 3 points. That's exactly what I did. 50 to win five, pay
50 to win
550. Let's go.
550. Yep. What is this? Jets 2?
Jets Chargers Monday Night Football.
Ooh, I like
Chargers
this
minus
game. I
three.
was looking at this game. Um, Chargers -3.5. What'd you say about this game? What do you think?
I
Sorry, I
like the
wasn't.
Chargers with the points.
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert kind of has a tough day, but at the end of the day, I mean, this Chargers team definitely outweighs this Jets team. Matters what Zach Wilson can do. I mean, in the spotlight, I think he probably has a pretty rough game. This Chargers defense, in my opinion, is a bit underrated. They put up more yards and give up more points than they probably should, but at the end of the day, third down stops, they come through a good amount. Zach Wilson is going to have a tough day moving the football. Justin Herbert might have a tough day against the Jets defense. I kind of like the under. 3.5's a bit of a hook. I don't know if I want to take 3.5, but I think the Chargers probably get it done. Again, it's another one you need. Chargers have a losing record right now. They're in a tough division, tough AFC conference. You have to win this football game against the Jets. Um, yeah, I definitely do lean the Chargers. Austin Eckler to have
Yeah.
a big football game. Big,
I was
a
going
lot
to
of
say,
check downs for Justin Herbert.
I think this will be a big Chargers get right game. I know they did it last week, and I kind of doubted them against the Bears, but I think they can do it again here and kind of pick up a couple wins and get the job done here in MetLife on Monday night. But that is going to do it for our Week 9 slate. We will head over to the NBA where a lot has been going on. Obviously, a lot of the one big trade that most people have been talking about, the Philadelphia 76ers have agreed to send James Harden to the LA Clippers. Deal includes a package of players and picks going back to Philly, but obviously the Clippers get the guy that they've wanted and a veteran role player in PJ Tucker, a guy that's been there and done that. Do you think this can make the Clippers a top tier team in the Western Conference? I know before the season, a couple weeks ago when we did our NBA preview, I like the value on them and to win the West and all these futures on the Clippers. I didn't take a single one of them. I'm kind of wishing I did just because I did see the prices change when they got him, but obviously that's just the expectations. I don't know if they're that much of a lock. Denver still looks pretty good, but I'm I have confidence in this Clippers team. I don't know how it's going to work, but I think it could. We've seen it with these players. Obviously, Harden, Westbrook, we've seen before, and then I'm blanking. Did Harden play with Paul George in
No, this is his first time
OKC?
playing with
No,
Paul
he was
George.
gone. Okay, I was going to
Yeah.
say, and then he played with Paul George as well, and he was already gone by then. You're
Yes.
right. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think this can make them a top tier team in the West?
So yeah, I do, but I don't think it's because of Harden. I think that this team already before Harden was well rounded. I think when anytime you have Kawhi Leonard on the field or on the court, you have a chance of winning every single basketball game. The problem is, are they going to play enough games together in the regular season to be able to make that push in the playoffs? The thing with this team has always been load management. Paul George sitting out way too many games when you have Kawhi Leonard, who's the other superstar on the team, who obviously is going to sit out his games. If anybody's going to sit out the game, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard, correct?
Yeah.
Um, I think that if this team can get in the swing of things and play enough minutes together, full roster with bench and everything, I think that this team can definitely come out of the Western Conference. I've said it for a few years. Once they got Kawhi Leonard, I think that this duo could have done a lot, but they've never played a full season together. They've always sat out, and it even though regular season doesn't really matter, it does matter because I mean, by the time the playoffs come, these players aren't playing as well together because they haven't played enough minutes together. They don't know their games enough. Um, so to answer your question, I do think that the Clippers can compete for a title. I think they can compete for a Western Conference championship. I just think it matters how Tyronn Lue makes them kind of play. I think that he really needs to put his foot down and let them know, like, you guys are the players. I'm the fucking coach. You guys are going to play when I tell you to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I don't think Harden is what makes them that much better. I think it's more just the ability, like you said. When Kawhi's out, you now have Paul George and Harden. When Harden doesn't want to play, you have the other two. Like we know what this team does, what they've done throughout the past couple of years. I think they'll get there in the play. I think they're going to be a tough out for any team in the playoffs. I don't care what seed they get. If they have to go to, say, a Golden State to start the playoffs or any of these teams, I haven't really looked too much. We're 4 games into the standings, and it's not even worth looking at. Like the Magic are leading the East right now. But I don't know. I think they're going to be a tough out for any team. So, um, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 6 teams in the Western Conference who like you're not getting an easy series.
No.
You look at the NBA. You look at the actual NBA about 7 years ago. Top 4 teams in each side were basically winning every series, right?
Yeah.
You Last year the Lakers won as a 7 seed, the Warriors won as a 6 seed, the Heat won as an 8 seed. These lower seed teams are winning these series and they're winning these
He
games.
got to. I
It's a
was going to
lot
say he got
different.
to the finals as an 8 seed.
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive league than it was about 6 7 years ago. I think, talent spread out. Everyone's playing. It's more of a team game more than like put really good players on the team and you're destined to get to the finals or something. It's not like that
Yeah.
anymore. You get bounced in the second round as a super team because these well-rounded teams are just playing faster basketball.
Yeah, that's like I mean, we were talking earlier about the Knicks, and I was like, you were like, we just don't have a Tatum or like a true superstar. It's like sometimes those kinds of teams in the playoffs are even scarier because you don't know where the fuck the ball's going.
Dude, like the Suns year in 2 years in a row. I mean, they haven't played minutes together. They go into the playoffs. You're getting beat in the second round by teams. Like you're not gonna beat Denver.
No,
That team, like it's just like you got to play together. You like no matter how good of athletes these guys really are, you're not gonna do anything by yourself in this league.
and like and we saw last night against San Antonio, the Devin Booker's already missed games. They're already missing some games out there, so it's like that stuff does add up.
Yeah, pure hoopers are not enough anymore. You need to play team basketball. Everyone needs to do their role. Like that Spurs team all around. I mean, they have good players. I mean, they play well together. They're well coached. They do what they need to do. Then you have Kevin Durant turning the ball over with 3 seconds left,
That
up
was
one
crazy.
point. I
That was
mean,
fucking crazy.
don't get me wrong. Kevin Durant is top 3 player in the world right now, but I mean, it's just undisciplined basketball. These guys think that they're better than everyone, and not,
He did look so confused that they didn't call a timeout. Did they have a timeout left?
I wasn't watching. I saw like highlights this morning. I
Yeah,
wasn't
because
like,
the announcer was saying, and you've got to think they're going to call a timeout here to advance the ball. But I didn't actually like look at the bottom of the screen to see if they had the timeout. But I'm like, why aren't they calling a timeout? Why aren't they calling a timeout? And then they just rip the ball out of his hands and like do that little layup. I'm like, and they're going to win this game now because of KD just fucked up. And then KD did the thing where he's like, looks all confused because like if it's your
he
fault,
fucked up. Yeah, he's like,
yeah, it's
why
like
didn't
just
you
look
guys do this?
confused.
It's like Tom
Yeah,
Brady on fourth down. Like,
yeah, exactly, exactly. And speaking of the Spurs, Wembanyama continues to impress. At least does for me. For the Spurs on Tuesday, the Spurs overcome that 20-point halftime deficit to the Suns to win the game outright as a 7-point underdog. He's especially been good in the fourth quarter to start the season. I know, like I said, we're only 4 games in, but averaging just over 7 points, shooting 80% in the fourth quarter, 2.5 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks just in the fourth quarter to start these games. So I don't know how many Spurs games you've watched. I have been watching them a lot. I don't think I've missed a game yet just because I keep betting on them. and kind of watching their games just because I really like watching him play. And he's been when he you can tell towards the later of the game when Popovich kind of starts letting him kind of go off on his own and guard guys and have to do things on his own. But they're like you said, that team is good. They just have role players. I like Sochan or Sochan for them. I'm a big fan of him. And what's the guard? Trey Jones. I think they just have a
Who's that
nice
white
like
boy they got too?
I'd have to look up I can't even remember some of the guys on their roster. They have like Vassell, he's good too. Like they just have a bunch of guys that like don't come to the top of your, you know what I mean, the tip of your tongue,
Right,
especially for
right.
me right now when you're thinking of like elite teams or obviously they're not an elite team, but like
Kelvin
last
Johnson
night,
too.
yeah, they're not just going to be a pushover and a 20-point halftime deficit. Like Popovich is going in that locker room, probably reaming them out, and then they're going to go back out there and, like we said, win the game outright. Which is like, I had them +7. I know you said you almost live bet them, but like I was like laying in bed. I'm like, I'm out of this game. This game, this is over. This is over. And they end up winning the game outright. I'm like, damn, they're just one of those young teams that like you're gonna have to watch out for every night. And like team I took tonight is Portland in Detroit as a 4.5-point underdog. Like I was gonna take them in Toronto 2 nights ago and they beat them outright as a 4-point underdog. So I'm kind of just doubling down on this one. Like
We're
some of these
8.
younger teams, yeah,
They're
exactly.
8-point underdogs that game.
Yeah, some of these younger teams, I like jumping on them, like especially the Spurs. I didn't take the money line, but that's a team I'm going to be riding a lot this year, mainly just because I'm kind of a fan of them now. That might be my team this year. Probably is going to be just because I've watched so much of them. But yeah, I've definitely been impressed with them. And
Yeah, for
then
sure.
I did see this. Go ahead.
I just haven't watched a ton of Spurs games, but I mean, Wembanyama does look pretty good. I think they're limiting him more in the first half, and they're kind of letting him
That's
roam
what I'm
free
saying.
in
You
the
can
second
tell when they're
half.
like letting him go, like in the second half, they like let him go do what the fuck he wants, which is like
Right,
let him do
right.
it the whole game. But I guess you want to like
You
get
gotta,
him to
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. I understand what they're doing. Popovich knows what he's doing.
But yeah, I was gonna say, believe me, if there's someone, I'm not the biggest pop guy, but he definitely knows what he's doing. I respect him as a
Yeah.
coach. But then I saw this today on ESPN. Didn't know this. The in season tournament that we talked about gets underway Friday. So I looked this up on kind of how this works. Do you understand how this works at all? Yeah, you're good. So here's what I did find. If you kind of understand it, here's what I got
Sorry, I
out
did
of it.
not.
No, you're good. It starts Friday. It says the championship is on Saturday, December 9th. So I don't know how this works. The semifinals Thursday, December 7th, and the championship will take place at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. For a complete schedule check, or click here. Give me a second. So then there's like knockout rounds, group play. So here's what it is: the group play. All 30 teams have been randomly drawn into groups of 5 with their conference based on one-loss records from the 2022-2023 regular season. Beginning November 3rd, this Friday, continuing through Tuesday, November 28th, each team will play 4 designated group play games on tournament nights, 1 game against each opponent in its group, with 2 games at home and 2 on the road. And then eventually we'll get into the knockout rounds. I don't understand why they're doing this. It definitely just trying to make these in-season games a little more interesting. I don't know what they win or what they get out of it. If it's going to be kind of like the one I always think about with the All-Star game is the MLB All-Star game, how it determines the home field for the World Series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
Like
how
I think
people
they
like
should.
to cry in the MLB All-Star game.
I was gonna say I feel like they should have done something like that with this, like
Yo,
the East
each
or the
player on
if an East.
yo, so this is their incentive. This is why so the entire thing around it is to make regular season games mean more, make them try
More
more because
exact mean more.
you've
Yeah,
seen the NBA go to shit in the regular season because nobody gives a fuck. I mean, you win
I've been quoted saying it doesn't start till Christmas, and I've been
you win
locked in for the
yeah,
first 4
right.
games of the year.
Yeah, I mean, teams win 42 games in a season and they make the playoffs nowadays. So it's just it's getting teams to actually try more in the regular season. So here's the thing: each player on the winning team will take home $500,000. So
Yep,
it's
that's it.
literally it's going into your pocket. You're playing for like your pocket.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good incentive if you ask me. That's a good way to get the regular season games more interesting. I
yeah,
like it. It's for ratings. It's for viewings. Obviously, anything that they do, it's gonna attract more attention. But I mean, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm looking at the schedules here. So it's like obviously Eastern Conference based teams. So like West Group A is Grizzlies, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, Blazers. Group B in the West is Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavs, Rockets, and then C is
what does that
Kings,
mean?
Warriors, Wolves, Thunder, and Spurs. Go ahead.
What does it mean, like, within 1 loss, they group the divisions? I don't even understand that.
I don't within their win-loss record. So, like, I
Oh,
think they
within
put
win-loss. I thought you said
it
1
was like
loss.
1 loss, you know what I mean? Not like 1, like the number 1. It was like
Oh,
WON.
1. Got you, got you, got you,
It
got you.
should have said win-loss record, not 1
Yeah.
loss. It's because it was last year. They have to be grammatically correct, not so we understand it. But here's how I take it. So the Grizzlies, Nuggets, and Kings, weren't they the top 3 seeds? Wasn't it Nuggets,
Yeah, it
Grizzlies,
was
Kings?
Nuggets vs. Kings, yeah.
Yeah, so they're each in different groups, and then it goes the 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's exactly how they did it.
Yeah, so it's just like the yeah, okay, I
Because
got it. Makes sense.
the top teams in each group they're not in the same group. It's 76ers, Bucks, and Celtics. They're not in the same group. They're ABC. You know what I mean?
Got it. Yep, makes
So
sense.
A is the Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, Pacers, Pistons. B is Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hornets. You could be competitive. You guys could get out of that bracket, I like to think.
Dude, Knicks
Bucks,
are
if
good,
the
man.
that's what I'm saying. You guys are definitely the second best team in that.
Who's
I'm not big on the Heat this year.
who is it, the Bucks in it?
Bucks, Knicks, Heat,
Yeah.
Wizards, and Hornets are the basement teams in that.
Knicks play well against the Bucks too.
Yeah. And then the last group, Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Bulls, Magic. I don't see the Celtics having any issue there.
Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Bulls, Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celtics roll.
Yeah, I don't see them. Yeah, and then I see here, yeah, the pot based on the record, all that stuff based on the winnings and all that for what they're getting. So they made sure to throw that in there. So this gets underway Friday. I'll definitely be tuning into this. I think they're just regular in season normal games. I don't know. It's gonna work. They're definitely gonna make these games more enticing for uh load management aspects. Like think about like if you're normally gonna sit out on a Friday night, you know what I mean? We have a game Saturday. Now you're gonna sit out Saturday and not this in season tournament game.
Right, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
They'll find their
Wait,
work around it.
so not every game from here to December is considered
No,
in season tournament?
no. So it starts Friday, and then I'm looking at Saturday. Like I'm looking at it on the ESPN app. So like when I click Friday, every game under it says in season tournament group play. I'm gonna just keep clicking through until I see the
Oh,
next.
fuck. So it specifies, like, it'll say
Yeah,
it.
it's every
Ah, I
Friday.
see it, I see
It's
it,
e-
that's
it's
awesome.
it's every Friday. Every Friday is in season tournament. That's pretty sick, actually.
Okay, I don't I like the organization. Like, I like how they organized it.
Oh no, some Tuesdays too. Some Tuesdays I'm missing. There, it's not every Friday. It's Tuesdays and Fridays.
Alright, well, it's organized.
Yeah. So it's every Tuesday and Friday up until those playoff dates or the knockout round that I said
So
earlier.
everyone plays on those Fridays or no? No, they don't. One,
No,
2,
like
3,
if
4,
you don't
5,
play on
6.
Tuesday, you probably play your game on a
Yeah,
Friday.
got you, got you, got
Because like remember we said each team will play 4 games, 2 home, 2 away. So like the Knicks will play the Bucks and then the Wizards and then you know what I mean. Like each
you.
week they'll
Right,
play one of those teams on probably a Tuesday or a Friday.
right.
Because like it looks like some of the Tuesday games when they're on Tuesdays, there's only like 5 games. Whereas when they're on Friday,
9.
exactly the
That
rest of the
makes
league plays that doesn't play Tuesday.
yeah, makes sense. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
I'm just surprised we figured that out because I thought I was like, I literally just wrote in here the in season tournament gets underway Friday night, and I knew nothing else about it. And I mean, we did pretty good job breaking that down because I feel like I
Yeah,
understand it now. So I'm
not too
actually kind
bad,
of
no.
looking forward to that. That is a pretty cool format. How it's not every game; they just kind of like random games
I
throughout the
thought
season.
yeah, I thought it was every game from, like, a certain point, like
I thought it was gonna be like a
Friday
week long
to
tournament, middle of the season.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were, like, really making it, like, the
I like
entire
how it
season
starts this
in
early. I
season.
like how we're like 5 games in, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're doing this."
Yeah, get it going right away, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. All right, we'll end things off with the MLB, where the Texas Rangers lead the Arizona Diamondbacks with a 3-1 series lead. Excuse me, in the World Series. Can the Diamondbacks complete the comeback like they did against the Phillies, or you think Texas is going to wrap things up tonight? Game 6, Game 7. Is there any chance the Diamondbacks come back in this series?
I don't think so. I think Nathan Eovaldi kinda shuts the door tonight, and I think those bats, we've talked about it so much. Once these Rangers bats are going, you cannot stop them. They played last night, they played 2 nights ago, put up 11 last night. Um, it's against Gallen, but Gallen's been kinda getting lit up in this postseason. I can't see a situation where this Diamondbacks team bounces back.
I agree, and I think even if they do win the night, I think Texas gets the job done in Game 6 on their home field. I like the Rangers to close the series out. I haven't really bet much of this World Series. I did take their Diamondbacks in Game One when they got fucking walked off by Adolis Garcia, and then ever since then I haven't really watched much of it. And that will lead me into I had to find out how the ratings were doing on this World Series. I think most people expected this, but the Diamondbacks and Rangers delivered on the field in Game One of the World Series, but the ratings were a completely different story. Friday's Diamondbacks and Rangers World Series Game One averaged a 4.6 rating and 9.17 million viewers on Fox, marking the lowest rated and least watched Game One of the World Series on record.
Wow. Yeah. We were talking about this earlier. The MLB lost a shit ton of money when Diamondbacks won that Game 7 over Phillies. Um, America definitely wanted to see Philly into the World Series, but I mean, these are two low market teams. Anybody on the East Coast is not really paying attention to this anymore.
That's what I said. Anything east of the Mississippi, no one cares about this World Series.
Yeah, that's sad, but I mean, I haven't watched it either, so I can't even really back
I
up
was
my
gonna say, like, I want to act like I've been watching it, but I really haven't.
not because
There's
like I
been
haven't like chosen to, but like when there's other sports on, I mean, college
I was
football, I
gonna
don't
say
care
I'm
if
gonna
it's
take
actually good.
NFL when it's on Sunday. I'm gonna take college football when it's on Saturday. And then lately, I've been like I told you, I've just been if the Penguins are on, I'll watch the Penguins. But I've just been ripping random NBA games because the NBA, like you said, it's been so competitive, and a lot of these games have been really good to start. So I just haven't watched a bunch of baseball lately.
Yeah, me either. I'm kind of checked out.
Yeah, I agree. You said it. You said it when you sent our picks, where we sent our picks the other day. You go, yeah, I'm kind of just tapped out on the MLB this year. So
I couldn't get a grip on this series, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, I'm over. I don't watch this anyway. I don't even care.
I was laughing, and then you literally go, "I think the Diamondbacks win the night." They lost like 10-3 or
Well, it
whatever.
was 11-7, but it was 11-1
It
in
did
the
end up
second, in the
coming
eighth
back,
inning.
yeah.
Good pick, right? I had the
And it
over in
was
the
the
game
game after
before.
you taking over,
I
yeah,
took the over. It was 3-1. It was 1-0 in the seventh inning or something. I'm like, get me all,
yeah,
get me out of this sport. I'm done.
yeah. It's like baseball is for when there's nothing else on.
Right. I'm not. You can't pay attention to it right now. There's too much going on.
E- exactly.
College basketball, 6 days. Oh, we're getting into the bread and butter. You guys know
I was
how
gonna
well
say
we did
next
last season.
we should have done it this week as like a preview, and it's just us two because it's mainly just us two that dive into the college basketball stuff anyway. But we'll get into that next
We
week
the
because we didn't
college
do very much.
we're the college experts over here.
Yeah, I don't know what we went. What did we end last year on our card? I feel like I have that written down somewhere, like
Double
15 some units. That
Yeah,
was
it was
crazy.
definitely double digits. I think we were
Yeah, we'll
flirting
have
with
to
like
pick up
20.
where we left off.
But yeah, there's a few games I'm already looking at for um November
Opening
6th
night.
opening night. Yeah. Like USC, like like Oregon.
You see the dunk that kid on Tennessee had? Neck or whatever his name is.
No, I did not.
Dude, I gotta send you this. I gotta send you this dunk. This thing is crazy. It doesn't have to be while we're recording. I can send it to you after this. But do you have anything else you want to go over? I didn't really look too much at the college football slate. Any good college football games this weekend that we want to dive into? I'm just pulling it up real quick. Just ranked games. We have Kansas State at Texas, Missouri at Georgia. That could be a tough matchup. There, Missouri's been pretty good coming into Georgia at 7-1. I don't love them to win the
It's
game,
a
but a
big
15 and
week.
a half point spread.
It's a
Yeah,
big college football week, especially in the Pac-12 next week too.
Oklahoma State. That's a good one. Oklahoma State gets home field there. Washington, USC. Definitely a lot of good.
Washington,
LSU, Alabama. This is a great college football weekend. I don't know how I didn't notice that.
I was
So,
looking at it 2 days ago, and I was like, "Wow, we're getting into the like end of the season where they already know these games are going to matter the most, and you're getting these matchups. You get Washington USC this week. You get Utah USC next week, or Utah Washington, something like that. Um,
dude, I like these two late night ranked games too. Oregon State at Colorado and UCLA at Arizona.
I'm
Arizona's
taking
been a pesky
Arizona
team all
money
year.
line. I took them
Me too.
last
I was
week
gonna
against
say, dude,
Oregon
I kind of
State.
like Arizona there.
Arizona money line, dude. That defense is good.
Yeah, I like both of those. I like a
I
lot of these games.
love
You're definitely gonna
Bama.
have to
I
stay
love
tuned.
Bama, but I think it's going to be a public play. Might have to stay away from it. But Bama -3, Jalen Milrow is going to shit on that LSU defense.
You think Bama can make a run to get pushed in this college football playoff?
My buddy who knows like college football really well, um, he's the kid who like he got Washington against Michigan State like -3 in April, and they were like -14 when they played. Like he gets all that stupid shit. He took Alabama plus 1600 to win the 90. like 2 days ago.
I was gonna say you can get crazy odds on it if you and it's all gonna be if they sneak in because if they sneak in, they're
Look,
gonna get to
they
the national
will. They
championship
if
game.
they win out, they're in 100%. They just can't
Let's
lose
see.
another game.
Let's see what odds they have on DraftKings right now for them to win the national
Dude, they're
championship.
good too. Jalen Milroe kinda figured it out. He's in that offense now.
15 to
You
1 on DraftKings. You could shop that, I'm sure, and get maybe 16 or 14 the other way, but make sure you shop that because I like that too.
because you win this game, you're going like, you're going to the SEC championship with 1
Yeah,
loss.
yeah. That's tough, dude. We might have to do that too. We could throw that on the college football card. That might be fun.
Yeah,
All
bro.
right.
I'll do that 100%.
Yeah, we should do that. All right, fuck it. Let's do it. All right. Let's do the natty. We gotta shop those odds and make sure we get the best odds. But right now, 15 to 1. We just gotta find something better than that. But I think that's gonna do it. Do we got anything else? We just kind of impromptu win over college football. We didn't really have much in college football. You said obviously college basketball gets started next week. Not much going on in the NHL. At least, like I said, I haven't been watching too many games. The games have been good. I just haven't really been kind of diving in. I guess it's because the Penguins aren't that great. I'm not too interested in it right now. I kind of just am in denial that they're not that great. But
Yeah, they're
your Rangers are obviously on fire. Aces Bruins on fire. So you guys are obviously very in tune to what's going on. Rangers top of the Metro, Bruins top of the Atlantic. Obviously, Aces in here to go off about his Bruins here, but I mean, your Rangers have had a hell of a start here.
yeah, 5-0 stretch out there in West Coast and on Western Canada. Huge 5 wins. Rangers don't usually do that out west, so that was definitely big. A lot of momentum going. Both goalies, Jonathan Quick and Igor Shesterkin, playing incredible. This tandem is going to be a problem, especially when this offense is kind of going like this. Um, they're just playing great hockey. They're definitely one of the better teams in the league, roster wise, up and down. I think that they're playing like they should be, and sitting at 7-2 right now. I have a lot of hope for them. But yeah, those
Dude,
Penguins, man,
the bottom
those
of the
Penguins,
Metro. I didn't even check that. Oh,
bro, you guys are bad. Like you guys are, and it's like I think it's like the age, bro, because it's the third period. You guys come out in the first period, you look great. The legs are going. Halfway through the second, you're kind of falling off. By the third period, those old legs, dude, they're
dude, I did not even notice. We're 3-6. Oh, Columbus 3-4-2 ahead of us. Flyers 4-4-1 ahead of us,
Flyers
dude.
are playing some good
Flyers are
hockey.
good. I took the Flyers tonight. I think they win tonight.
Yeah, but
But
you guys got to figure
this
something
has to be
out.
why I'm not that interested in it right
You
now.
you guys gotta figure something out. You guys lost to the Ducks the other night at home. Do you see how you lost? It was a 5-on-3. You had a
And
5 on the
McTavish
power
got a
play.
breakaway out of the box.
That's a terrible loss,
You'll
dude.
like this. Zegras was at Tequila Cowboy on Saturday night. They were in Pittsburgh. They got to Pittsburgh Saturday, and my
No
friend
way.
saw Zegras in North Shore Saturday night.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah,
He was
one other
partying,
thing.
then they beat us Monday.
Shane Pinto, 41 games for gambling.
That's crazy.
God. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I used to play with this kid, and, I
And now
can't
you
say
do
I'm
a gambling
surprised.
podcast.
I can't say I'm surprised. Good shit, Shaner. I mean, good for you. I mean, but, no, that sucks.
That's so fun,
41
dude.
games is excessive, bro.
It's
Like,
crazy. That is
that's
crazy. It should
absurd. It's crazy.
like first offense. That should be like 10 games. Like I get it. They don't want it to be one game, 2 games. You know what I mean? But
And, like,
like
if it wasn't even on the NHL, I mean, he's obviously not, like, rigging games. He's just trying to have a little fun, bro. Going on a little FanDuel, make some money.
yeah, he's making some fucking serious money for that age.
Dude,
I'd definitely be throwing some bets around.
he lost a shit ton of money right there, though. I mean, he was looking at $3 million a year. Now he's gotta sign entry level, or I guess it's not entry level, it's minimum
Whatever.
now,
Yeah,
but he's missing out on, like, 2.5 a year. It's crazy.
that's tough.
But, yeah, it sucks. I hate to see it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it though. I think that's definitely all we got. We covered all four of the major sports as well as the two college that we like to dive into. So definitely a lot to talk about in the sports world this week. But I think that's gonna do it for us. You got anything else?
No, nothing else. Just, looking to bounce back. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, I had a 1 and
I was gonna
6
say
record.
we didn't
We didn't
discuss
go
the
over
records.
records, but we all had a great week. I went 1 and 6 2 weeks ago, said I was gonna bounce back. I rattled off 7 straight winners, right? Sitting at
That
7
was
and 0, and
crazy.
then I kinda fell off again, took 3 losses. But 7 and 3 week, plus 4.5 units. Huff, I think you were 5-2, something like that. Huff
Yeah,
had a great week as
Ace
well.
is 8 and 4, 4 and 1, plus 4.17, so right behind you. I was 5 and 2 going into Monday Night Football, so I just didn't play anything in Monday night. I wanted to end the week positive after some of the weeks that I've had, so that was a big week for me. And then Jesse was 2 and 2 on the weekend, so everyone had a pretty solid week, like we said. Looking to build on that and kind of keep things moving forward. But other than that, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for listening. Make sure like, subscribe, follow, share, whatever you got to do. We really appreciate it. But other than that, make sure you're staying tuned. Like we said, a fire college football card this weekend, a great NFL slate. The World Series, we're probably not going to be getting many more plays out on that. But as far as the NBA and NHL goes, we have the daily cards ripping in those. And like we said, college basketball gets going next week. So make sure you're staying tuned to the social medias for all that stuff. Other than that, I think that's going to do it for us. So thanks for listening. We'll see you guys Sunday for the Hit the Books live stream for week 9 of the NFL season.